Hello, hello. Happy Monday to my ladies out there. Hope you are doing well. Today is Monday, December 11th, and welcome to our third episode of Hot Happenings, Roxanne Style Scoop, where I talk pretty much kind of everything style, fashion, my thoughts, my musings, answering questions that you have, all the good stuff. And this week is really starting off on I would say a high for me. I know it's already Monday, but just coming off of the back of the week last week, I had an amazing week with my husband and with my team, and just really, really feeling good as we step into the holiday season. And I think that for me, the biggest driver for this was especially this time of year, there's a lot of focus on giving. And for me personally, giving means a lot, and not only throughout the holiday season, but also throughout the year. And but then that's actually one of the reasons, that's the main reason why I joined Junior League about 5 years ago when I moved to Dallas. So I am a member of Junior League of Dallas, and through Junior League I've gotten an introduction to amazing charitable organizations that really support families and people in terms of education, poverty, medical health, really just every kind of core aspect of life that we normally take for granted. We're able to really give in those spaces. And 2 years ago, actually, I was introduced to this particular organization, Community Partners of Dallas, technically when I moved to Dallas 5 years ago, and initially joined a junior league. But uh, my placement with junior league rather, both last year and this year was at the Community Partners of Dallas. My first couple of years volunteering through junior league, my placements were actually teaching English as a second language. That's something that I did really pretty much fall and spring semester for 2 years. And that was a lot of fun. That was something that I actually did with my husband as well. But last year, I changed my placement because it was difficult for me schedule wise to have class every Monday. As we have gotten just so busy with our styling business and, growing more clients, getting team members, all that. I just didn't have the bandwidth, and I needed to really reclaim that time. But I still obviously wanted to give. So anyhow, Junior League offers condensed placements where you do your placement really over a 2 to 3 week period every year. And you can do obviously beyond that, but schedule wise, that really worked for me. So I became the holiday helper at at the Community Partners of Dallas. And Community Partners of Dallas, what essentially they do is they provide emergency services for neglected and or abused children. And when I say emergency services, meaning when unfortunately, when we have children and the children they serve are pretty much from infant all the way up to the age 18. Um, if they are removed from their home 24/7, they have a place to go to that they can work with their caseworker. That's not like some old dingy government building, right? It is a facility that is secure, it's private, and they really are the bridge between law enforcement and the caseworkers and the community. So at any given time, children are brought to this space, and it's really really beautiful. It makes kids feel kind of calm, at home, not being like as jarred as they were before. I can't imagine what it feels like to be removed from, the place that is home, even though it may be not the best place for you. You may or may not know that, but coming having strangers come in and kind of disrupt your environment, and you really don't know what's going on and you don't have a say in it, that is really 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 traumatic. But what CPD does is that they make this environment, they've created this environment where children can come and feel safe and feel taken care of and get food, because a lot of times they also don't know when the last time that child actually ate. So it's very, very, it's very, very extreme circumstances for a child to obviously be withdrawn from home, but it happens a lot. And check this out: CPD, Community Partners of Dallas, they service, the number now is about 18,000 children and families, and they concentrate just on Dallas County. So that is a lot of children, for a relatively small geographic region, if you think about it. But they're so, so good. So anyway, long story short, they have an amazing toy drive every year. I volunteered last year as a holiday helper in bringing in and helping sort and organize donations that come from the community, filled wishes or undesignated toys, all of it. And last year we handled about 6,000 toys, and that's just for the toy drive. So we're in the midst of that right now. Took a day off today, to do my Haute Happenings, because I want to show up for you. But we were there pretty much all last week, and we're going to be there again from tomorrow through the end of this week, my husband and I. And what was a really, really great thing was that my team got involved, and on Saturday we all volunteered together, for a couple few hours, and it was their first time going to CPD, and it was just a really meaningful experience for them. So I'm so glad that they got to join me and to participate, and do good and do good together. It feels so good. So that is why my week has started out on a high, because we just know that we are just doing meaningful work for these babies, right? Even babies that are 18 years old, right? I can't imagine. And I feel so blessed and humbled that that is not anything that I never had to experience. I've never even personally known anyone to experience anything quite like that. So I think, it's a moment of, gratitude, self reflection, and just being grateful again for all that we have. That we are a lot of us are truly, truly blessed. So, anyway, so that's kind of, the feel good vibes to kick off the show today. But I've got a really, really good show for you. We have lots to talk about. And whether you're watching it live or if you're watching it after the fact. All right. So, now, is a good time for me to remind you, look, it's Christmas time right now. I want you to think about gifting yourself the gifts of self, okay? We're coming into a new year. We are getting gifts for everybody else, the whole family. A lot of times we put ourselves last as ladies, as women. And I really want you to think, as you go into the holiday season, and what your goals are for 2024, for your life. But I want you to dedicate a certain amount of that, bandwidth to thinking about yourself, specifically thinking about your image, how you dress, how you present. It's so, so important. And I would love the opportunity to help you kind of get clarity on what is going on with your style these days, right? And more importantly, have conversations about where you want to be. So I do encourage you to book a style intensive with me. It's a complimentary 1 hour virtual session via Zoom, and you can be anywhere, in America or the globe, technically, because my personal styling services, are not only based here in the Dallas, Texas area, but also nationally. We travel to our clients. We have travel clients that travel here, but where we start before we get into the fittings and the curation and all that, we always start with our clients with this really, really important session in which we're uncovering what is, at the heart of, really, what's in the way of you being and looking your best and feeling your best every single day. Okay. So if you click on the link in our chat and the description, you'll have a link to my calendar. You can also visit roxannecarne.com/contact. You'll have access to my schedule and book a convenient time that we can talk and figure out again what is going on, and maybe talk about, not maybe, definitely talk about what a resolution would look like, right? But what that would look like for you. Every woman is different, and I love spending this time with you. And only sign up if you are really, really serious about taking steps forward with owning, owning your image and owning your style in 2024. Okay. So there you have it. All right. So next up, I want to talk to you a little bit about a conversation that I had actually with a prospect who actually reached out to me. We're in the midst of scheduling the style intensive that I just talked about, and she made a really interesting comment to me. She said to me that part of her issue right now is that she buys cheap clothing because she'll change her mind on what she's selecting because she doesn't know what she's looking for. And she ends up feeling guilty by the end, she doesn't end so that she doesn't end up feeling guilty by the end of the week. So let me pull this together. What she's essentially saying is that when she goes shopping, she does not invest in quality pieces because she doesn't want to feel guilty about what she's paid for them, or she doesn't want to feel confused, like, does this really work for me? So she'll go and she'll buy the cheap clothing. Okay. When I say cheap, remember, I'm not necessarily talking about price because you can get great pieces at a really good price point, but I mean more so from a quality perspective. And, and she readily admitted that to me. And I've had so many conversations with women about style and what it means for one's budget. And it just, and she's a businesswoman, really smart lady, seems super, super nice. But I just was so taken aback that, here it is in 2023, and I understand why this messaging is coming at us in so many different ways from media, particularly social media. But it was just really eye-opening that, we as women are altering our behaviors and we are consistently settling for less. Some of us do it from an unconscious standpoint, and then others of us are doing it like her consciously. I am purposely going to throw away money on cheap clothing so that I won't feel guilty for, investing in myself. Like, this is warped thinking. This is not a good look. Okay. So I share that with you because these are the conversations that I have with my clients. But what we do is that we reframe that thinking and apply logic to it and results so that you really see what can be in the end. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I think a lot of you ladies out there, not I think, I know. Look, I've been doing this for 10 years now. This is literally like what I deal with every single day. And I'm happy to. I feel like this is a calling for me to get women to the other side. But it's just so pervasive in our society and our beings that this is just how we feel naturally. And you are getting up every single day and going through life feeling this way. This is not a good thing. This is not a good thing, right? Don't settle. I think it was our inaugural episode of Haute Happenings where I talked about negotiating your self-worth. This is a prime example. You're equating your value with a dollar amount. Make that make sense to me, right? Your intrinsic value, your value should be priceless, okay? You should not be feeling guilty after making a certain purchase. You just shouldn't. So anyway, I hope that that little snippet was helpful to you, but I certainly would love and invite you to maybe share what you kind of experience. As you're thinking about shopping or buying things for yourself, investing in yourself, do you have these little kind of like devil on your shoulder moments where, you're really kind of talking yourself out of what's best for you? Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And don't forget to visit roxannecarne.com. Visit my contact page to book that style intensive where we can really, really do a deep dive into understanding what behaviors, you're incorporating in your life that shouldn't even be there, right? Let's make sense of it all. All right. Okay, now it's time for our style secret. So Each week, I share a style secret, a hack with you, something that I think that will help you that's really quick and easy. And this week, we're going to talk about your natural waist, okay? So, first of all, most of my clients that I work with, and most women that I interact with, have no idea what a natural waist is. I'm going to break it down for you today, and I'm going to explain to you, and it's super, super easy, like how to measure your natural waist. So, ladies, the natural waist is the smallest portion of your torso. Okay, so torso, I'm really talking about from your shoulders to your hips, to maybe like your high hips, right? Your top half, basically. It's the smallest section of your waist, your torso. Um, I'll put a caveat in that for some body types, there is no smallest section of your torso, and that's okay, right? I'm specifically talking about those of us that do have a defined waist, okay? Doesn't matter what size you are, okay? It just means that your waist measurement is smaller than your bust and or your full hips, all right? So, what's really important is that you understand where that natural waist is. And I actually, on my website, on my blog, and we'll got this in the show notes too, a link to my blog on where is your natural waist, which is actually, for the past several years, has been one of the most visited pages on my blog posts, for all time globally. I got a lot of hits on that page. But anyway, it's important because when you are looking and shopping for clothing, particularly online, and you are checking out measurements, so size charts, okay, normally you see bust, waist, and hip. A lot of ladies think that their waist is kind of where, your pants hit your pants or your jeans when you fasten it, and it's sitting just kind of right there on your hip bone. That, ladies, that is not your waist. That is not your natural waist. That is your high hip. Okay? It's literally right on your hip bone. That is your high hip. Again, the natural waist is the smallest portion of your torso. So, if you and I'm going to just show you here really quick with what that means. Okay, so got my measuring tape here. You can pretty much visually see where your natural waist is. For me, it hits like right around here. And then you just take your measuring tape, get soft measuring tape, and you measure for whatever that number is for you. Okay? That's basically what it is. That is your natural waist, ladies. It's not here where like your jeans or your pants or your skirt hits if it's like a mid-rise or something like that. It is completely, it's higher than what you think. It's the smallest portion of your torso. So it's important that you know that, because a lot of times when you're ordering online, you are looking at that waist measurement and you're buying the wrong size. So, how many of you have placed orders online and you're like, well, I had my measurements, but it still doesn't fit? A lot of you are thrown off by that waist measurement, and a lot of times you're often buying sizes bigger than what you are because of that. So definitely make sure that you are paying attention to what that number is and knowing where on your body it hits. So make sure you visit that blog post. Again, we'll have that in the show notes and in the chat. For those of you that do not have a natural waist, meaning that your smallest portion, there is no smallest portion of your torso. That means that you either have one or two body types. You're either bigger in the middle, or you are kind of straight up and down. Okay. That is not a bad thing. Many ladies have a body type like that. You can still work with it and still be stylish, but you still have to know what that measurement is so that you get clothes that fit that part of your body, right? So measurement's important, but knowing your natural waist is super, super important. So I hope that was helpful to you, and definitely give me a comment if you kind of for the first time figure out where your natural waist is. If you didn't know what your natural waist was before until this video, drop a comment. I want to know. Okay, so let's give a little applause. Yay for learning something new. Okay, that's what I'm all about. All right, so now again we're in the holiday shopping mode, holiday shopping. Um, I know I haven't really done, I've done a little bit, not a whole lot. I tend to wait till the last minute just because we're always so busy doing other things. And every year I'm like, oh, I'm going to start my holiday shopping in September when I start seeing things for particular people. Honey, it just never works because we are always, always, always slammed during the fall winter season for style. So, but what I did was I came up with we come up with not only some shopping tips, but also a shopping guide for you for gifts that you can gift yourself as well as others. But I'm going to give you some important tips as you navigate what it means to shop online. Okay, through the holiday season, not only for this year, but definitely for years to come. All right. So let's start off with tip number one. I would love for you to create a wish list, okay? Um, and this kind of like the same thing when you go supermarket shopping. You should always go with the list because if you don't, A, you may forget something, but B, you end up buying things that you don't need. The stuff that they have on the end caps, right? Like we don't want that, right? We want to be really, really concentrated on what we're targeting. And gifts are meant to be, thoughtful items for people, especially for someone that's close to you. So kind of create that wish list for yourself and for others, and stick to it. All right. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is set a budget. And I think for a lot of people, this one is harder because you get caught up in sales and you're like, oh, this is only X amount of dollars. I could get one or two of these or something like that. But really stick to a budget, monitor your spending so that you don't overextend yourself. I think if you concentrate on the thought of the gift that you're giving that person more so than how much can I accumulate, I think that is more value. But it's also within reason, right? You don't have to buy the most expensive gift to impress a loved one or anything like that. Get them something that they need, get them something that they will truly enjoy. But make sure it also it's within your budget because you don't want to overextend yourself when it comes to spending money, especially around holiday season when we have a lot of temptations. All right, next. Oops, I turned off my other thing. Let me get my little lower third back on. There we go. Um, I'm getting used to the interface on this program that I use to go live. It's super, super helpful, but there are like lots of buttons. So bear with me as I continue to get comfortable with this week on week. But anyway, going on to number three, use a dedicated shopping email. So I have a dedicated shopping email because I shop for a living, right? I shop for my clients. So I want all of my orders, I want all of that going to one email. Now, I recommend you doing the same for this reason. Sometimes you'll get flash sales that pop up during the holiday, and the flash sale could be the sale is now and it's only for 4 hours, right? If you don't have a dedicated email that you're monitoring, especially during this time of the year, you will miss those notifications. If it goes into your general email box, and heaven knows if your general email box is like mine, I get lots and lots and lots of advertisements. But for Christmas shopping, I think it's a really smart idea. And just keep it active, and for tracking your orders that you place, just keep it active for the holiday time, right? But make sure that you have those notifications turned on from the retailers that you can receive those advertisements that you know what's exactly hitting and when. Because let me tell you, it is a free for all. You think when you're going shopping at a mall or something for the holidays, and it's pretty much a show, right? Online things move really, really quickly, especially for very popular items. So have that dedicated email, and it's going to be so helpful for you as well because that email is also where you'll get notifications for shipping, where you can track, as well as if you have to then make some returns after the holiday if something didn't quite fit or anything like that, you can easily facilitate the return and also track the return, because more than likely you will get an email that corresponds with it. So I think that's a really, really good tip. Have that dedicated email so you do not miss a thing. Okay. All right. Number four is update your payment and shipping info specifically before you start loading up that shopping cart, okay? Because once you load up that shopping cart, and if you come across an item like there's only one left, and then you're at the end checking out, you're like, oh my gosh, I got to enter the shipping. Oh, this is going to so and so. I need to look up her address or whatever. By the time you check out, that item may no longer be there, right? So if you know who you're shopping for, yourself included, load up those addresses first and then fill up the shopping cart and update your credit card, list on that website. Of course, if it's a trusted and secure retailer website, you should be fine. Some people don't want to have their credit card on file, and that's totally fine too. I don't payment info isn't, I think, as important as shipping, but shipping, you want to have that loaded in so that you can check out in a breeze and just get her done. All right. So that's a good tip for you there. Next is plan your timing. So this is an important one because, and this is a professional tip that I give you, especially for this time of year. And my girls and my team here will tell you this. Most of the shopping that I do for clients, honestly, is in the wee hours in the morning. I will get up at 3 a.m. and shop from like 3 till 7 or 4 till 7. I'm not kidding you. Or even earlier. And the reason is that in those hours, like there's hardly anybody online shopping, so I can put things in my cart. And for me, because I'm curating from different vendors, different resources, I've got multiple carts open at the same time. I want to kind of take my time to see, okay, I found this, but I know I can get something like this here, or I know this retailer carries this brand, maybe I can find it for a better price, things like that, right? So strategically it's a big help to me. But I will say for you, because of the holiday frenzy and what I was talking about earlier, with you're putting something in your shopping cart and it's one of the last few items available, and you're going to check out and the thing, it's gone. It is not available anymore. And then you got to kind of start all over. And then you may lose other pieces in your cart in the process. So plan your timing. If you have the wherewithal to get up early and do shopping like in the wee hours, overnight or in the morning, I would highly recommend doing that so that you're not feeling as rushed, and the likelihood of you having items going, disappearing from your shopping cart and saying it's not available when you check out, that gets minimalized. Okay. So definitely plan your timing there. Okay. Number six, secure your devices. Um, make sure that your Google Chrome or your Edge or whatever you use for your web browser, that's up to date. It's got the most secure, blocks on it. Most well-known retailers have secure websites as well. But sometimes you'll have, like, these janky websites that'll come up, if you're scrolling on Instagram or something kind of pops up in your feed, if you're on Facebook or something, and it's like dodgy stuff. Sometimes people don't really realize that it's like not a real store. So definitely make sure that the devices that you're working on are secure, that they're encrypted. You can have information stolen from a web browser on your phone too, right? So just make sure that you have the most up to date software updates from your web browser on your computer, on your phone, and just be also vigilant about the retailers that you're shopping from. All right, making sure that they're pretty much legit. All right, here's a good one, number seven. Look out for final sale items. And you're probably like, oh my gosh, Roxanne, yeah, I look for final sale items all the time. I love them. But here's the deal. Final sale usually is like the lowest of the lowest of the lowest price. Okay. So you can get some super, super deep savings there. But if it's something that you're buying for yourself and it's going to work for you, go for it. I get final sale items from myself from time to time because it's with a retailer or brand where I know my size and it is my style. I know it's going to fit and it's going to work. I've never purchased a final sale item for me that does not work. But if you're unsure about sizing, if you're unsure about the fit, okay, please, 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 please do not buy final sale. And also the reason I also have look out for it is that sometimes you may not realize that an item that you put in your shopping cart is actually a final sale item. Some retailers, and I don't think they're doing this from a shady standpoint. I think it's just the way their websites are set up. If you are in the shop, the online shop, sometimes it's clearly marked and sometimes it's in red, final sale, no returns. Okay. So you make your decision from there, but sometimes it's not marked. And so then when you go to your shopping cart, sometimes in fine print and it's not red, it will say like final sale and you may miss it. Okay. And then you then get your email or you receive it, or if you have to return it, you come to find out it's final sale. Then you're kind of screwed, right? So, what I recommend is on your checkout page, okay, right, but where you're about to enter your payment information, and you're making sure because usually retailers give you the opportunity to look at the shopping cart items just to make sure that they're correct. I want you to look at that carefully and do on your browser, and it works on most browsers. Control F on your keyboard, okay? Control F, and it brings up Find, and that's where you can search for keywords or words on a page, okay? So for some of you that may not know that, hey, that's a cool hack for you, something to learn. I use it all the time. But whenever I'm on the checkout page, I do Control F and I type in final to see if the web browser sees final anywhere on the products that I have in my shopping cart, just to make sure that I'm not accidentally buying something. If you're buying something and you know it's final sale and you want it, fair enough, but I don't want to get hemmed up if I'm buying something that I don't realize is final sale. So be really, really careful about that. Another important tip, number 8, I want you to check the return policies on your vendors, on your retailers, okay? Most retailers have a generous return policy of about 28 to 30 days, right? You've got Nordstrom, which really doesn't have like a return policy period at all. They're great. You can return it at any time. And then some places have like 365-day return, right? But there are some that have 5-day return, 7-day return, 14-day return, 8-day return. Like sometimes you have sometimes really, really random numbers that are fewer. The return days are fewer than 30 days, right? It's less than 30 days. So you have to know that going in, especially if you're buying a gift for someone else and you're purchasing earlier than normal. Um, you know, if I'm placing an order right now and the return day is seven, the return policy is 7 days from either placing the order or when it's received. That's another thing to pay attention to. And I'm planning on giving it as a Christmas gift. Christmas is like, a whole, like, it's 2 weeks from today. By the time that person receives their gift, I'm outside of the return period. So be very, very, very diligent about checking the return window, and then also checking, is the return based on the day that you receive it or the day that you place your order? Or a third one is on the day that the order is shipped. That is a thing, right? You got to look, shopping is a game, okay? You got to be strategic. You have to pay attention to these things. I just don't want you to get hemmed up and then not be able to return something because you didn't pay attention to the return policy. And the same goes for in-store purchasing as well. There are some stores and brands that have a shorter return period. There are also some retailers or some brands that you can only return for a store credit that you cannot get your money back. You can exchange it for something else, but you're not going to get that cash back. So that is something else that you should pay attention to. All right, what do I have next for number 9? Oh, number 9, enjoy the experience. Shopping should not be It shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be, like you're sludging through. Think thoughtfully about the people that you care about the most and what would excite them and how you want to delight and surprise them. And have fun navigating and, have fun getting those deals, right? But don't look at it as a chore. We don't want to be a Grinch for Christmas. I want you to enjoy your shopping experience. But I think you will if you implement these tips that I'm sharing with you today, because it'll be a lot more stress free, right? Right. All right. Number 10, shop my guide. So we've got a link in the chat right now for my holiday tips. So I go through all these tips, but I also have a guide on specific pieces that I've curated that you can buy for yourself as a lady. I've got a section for men. I have a section for friends as well as in-laws. So make sure you check out the blog post. I've got all sorts of goodies populated in the blog that you can just kind of go all out and get some of your Christmas shopping, get some ideas as well. So make sure that you check that out. And my last tip for you is to consult with yours truly, right? Use me as, I'm here. I'm your style guide. I'm your fashion guide, for my clients. Reach out to me with questions like, what do you think about, this gift for this person in my life? Or what do you think about this for me? My clients text and email me all the time with Roxanne, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? So, this right here, consult with me. That is a perk for my existing clients. And if you want to become a client, you again can easily do so by starting that style intensive discussion with me, right? So consult with me. And again, if you want to have that conversation and you need help right now with shopping and you're not an existing client, just visit my website, roxannecarne.com/contact. That link is pinned and it's available in the chat. But visit my website, set something up so we can do some good work together. Okay. So I hope that these tips were super helpful to you and you implement them. I'd love to know what other holiday shopping tips you may have, whether online or actually even in person. Make sure you drop a comment in the box and like, share, and subscribe. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to talk about my Fab Find of the week. We're rolling today. All right. So my Fab Find of the week is where I share with you um, what, a great item that I found, preferably on sale. Doesn't necessarily have to be on sale, but preferably on sale, that I think could be a great addition to your wardrobe. It's a great quality. It's a great quality and also at a great price. So I actually have two for you this week, okay? The first one is actually the dress that I'm wearing. So if you were watching this show 2 Mondays ago, our inaugural show, I actually had this as a Fab Find of the week, and I didn't end up sharing it because I bought the last one. I fell in love with it. I was like, I have to have it, and it happened to be in my size. But I'm sharing it with you this week because I found it somewhere else, and I will be sharing that link with you. But this is a Veronica Beard suit dress right here. Totally, totally love this piece. And if you check out my Instagram, and I'm going to show a picture of it here too. Let me share my screen so you can see. Here we go. Okay. Um, I we're gonna have an Instagram go out where I talk a little bit because I actually do a little bit of an unboxing when I opened it up last week when it arrived and tried it on. So you'll get some more details there. But it's a beautiful one shoulder dress. I think it's just such a statement dress. Absolutely love the way it looks. The fit is on point. I know for me, I may need to get a little bit of an alteration done on it, but it's available at Nordstrom Rack. We've got the link included in the chat. And actually, Annie, um, that, wait a minute. Annie, double check the links for, I think those are accurate. Just make sure that they link to the right amount because I ended up having to change one. But it's available on sale. So the dress is originally $748. I paid $284 for mine. Nordstrom Rack has it now. It wasn't available when I bought it because I looked around for different pricing. Of course, they had it for two. They have it for 279.97, 62% off. Okay, and they do have various sizes. Um, oh no, the Veronica Beard link is not working. That's weird. Um, Let me just see. I'm gonna see if I can generate it. Create, copy. Okay, so Annie, I'm gonna send this to you. Um, let's get this over here. Um, I'm gonna text this to you, Annie. Let's see if we can get this link to work. I want to be able to share it. And if we can't get it to work during the live, we'll have it for sure available for the show notes. But it's a really sexy dress. I love it's got kind of like enamel buttons. The one shoulder moment is just really, 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 really gorgeous. I'm going to show you my second um, item as well. And this one I have I have it uploaded here too. Awesome. This is a belted leather jacket. This one is 100% sheepskin. The original price on this is $580, and it's on sale for $290. This is with the outnet. It is 50% off. Look how cute this is. She's rocking her little like monochrome moment. Thank you. So Annie sent the updated link for the Veronica Beer dress. Okay. But coming back to our belted leather jacket in this beautiful camel color, she's got a kind of a monochrome moment, got it nicely accessorized. Here's a closer look at the soft, supple leather. Okay. This one has a detachable waist tie, and it's a soft leather. It's fully lined, and what a great price for a 100% sheepskin leather jacket. It does also come in black. Let me show you the black. And there's actually, if memory serves me, a little bit more availability in the black in that sizing compared to the camel, but there's still options for both. But I just thought that that was a really, really cool deal, and a great way to update your wardrobe from outerwear standpoint. When we are wearing our clothes, we're kind of thinking about our outfits, right? A lot of times we tend to forget about outerwear, and this is a good opportunity to get something good in that space for your wardrobe. So I said I wanted to come back to this Veronica Beer dress. So the reason I wanted to come back to this is I wanted to show you the importance of reading reviews. Okay, so when I talked about the dress a few moments ago, I shared with you that for me, the dress feels, and I'll show you here. It feels just like I could probably get this nipped in just a little bit more, like here more. I'll keep the dress. I'm keeping the dress. Obviously, I'm wearing it. But I will put the dress on, and I kind of do this sometimes when I have pieces like this, because your body changes throughout the month. Sometimes you're a little bit bloated or whatever. But I'm going to put it on at various points just to see if I really do need to have it taken in a little bit. A tailor is your best friend. But the reason I'm mentioning this is that when I pulled up the link that I wanted to share with you ladies for this beautiful dress, I was like, why is it only 3 stars? Like, why are we only seeing 3 stars here? So I went into the reviews, and I'm looking at the reviews here. And I changed it, rated from high to low. So someone rated the fabric is great, fits amazing. I completely agree. But the next two, this one says did not feel tight enough on the top. Wanted to like it, Okay, wanted to like it, but it felt not tight or supportive enough on the top. Cute dress, but I returned it. So, reviews like this, I side eye all the time because this is not a function of the dress. If it didn't feel tight enough or supportive enough, that is an alteration issue. That is something that you can fix. That's what tailors are for. So many ladies that I initially start working with do not have a tailor in their back pocket. That is how you take an outfit from looking nice to looking great if it doesn't fit you like that right out of the gate. Okay. So this to me is not truly a representation. She gave it 2 stars. I'm debunking that. That is not the case. It is a beautiful dress. I'm wearing it. I'm very picky, right? If something doesn't work right, I will return it. But that is not a 2 star. That's not a proper rating. It simply isn't. Just because you didn't fill out the dress doesn't mean that the dress is a bad purchase. So now let's look at the last review. This one was back in October. Too short for tall girls. She says, I love the look of this dress. The material was so nice, and the top slash shoulder got great, maybe was great, but it was just in cap so short. I'm 5'8", and it barely covered my bottom. No way could I have sat down in it. So sad I had to return. So she's 5'8", which we see indicated here in her profile. So I to me, this is a matter of personal preference. There is nothing wrong with the dress. And what's interesting is that the model, because they have the model stats, the model, her height is 5'10". Okay. They've got her measurements, everything. So let's go back and look at the model. So with the model, her dress length, it hits her right between her hip and her knee. Okay. And I'm 5'6". Mine hits closer to my knee. It's not all the way at my knee, but it hits closer to my knee. So the model's 5'10", and you can see the length there. To me, it doesn't look scandalous. Maybe too short for some ladies, which that's totally fine. That's her preference. I have no problem with that. But this lady is 5'8", and she says it was so short. So to me, it's a matter of personal preference. So she also gave this dress 2 stars because the dress was too short for her. Okay. That is, to me, that does not warrant a 2 star rating at all. I just thought that was really, yeah, I thought that was really kind of like not a great review, not really honest. It was true to her and what she wanted and what she needed, but it just was not, I don't think it was accurate. I don't think that's fair. And that's why I always read reviews, because honestly, a lot of the times where I see things that have low ratings, sometimes it's bona fide. Okay. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is definitely not, people, either consistent feedback about people complaining about the fabric, about, the construction, things like that you want to stay away from. But when it's like, oh, it's too short for me, or, it's not supportive enough on the top, that's just because it doesn't fit you and you can get that fixed. So that's my little kind of like sidebar. When I was looking at the dress to get the link for you, I was just like, what? I was like, why is this only 3 stars? I'm wearing it and this dress is fantastic. Okay. And it's Veronica Beard at this price point. That is a good buy. All right. So let me know what you think about that, about the Fab Finds of the week. That jacket from Muba, the sheepskin leather jacket, as well as the Veronica Beard. Let me know what you think about that. If you maybe will spring for any of those items, let me know in the comment section. All right. Okay. So now, what's in my closet? So, what's in my closet was a little bit of a crossover between the Fab Find of the week. I resurrected the Fab Find of the week. I was going to originally talk about this Veronica Bear dress in the in What's in My Closet, because you saw when I ordered it a couple of weeks ago. And I found it again at a slightly lower price, just under $10, $10 difference, but slightly lower price. And I found that it was available again. So I wanted to share that with you. But I do have another dress that I want to show you, which I actually forgot to pull. So let me go grab it real quick. And since I have my earbuds in, you can hear me. But as we get into the holiday season, um, I want to show you some fun dresses uh, that, you have the opportunity to wear, from an inspiration standpoint. I know the particular dress that I have today is not, it's not really available for sale as far as I recall. You may find it on the Real Real actually. So actually it may be on the Real Real. I'm not sure. But here it is. Okay. So what's in my closet? We've got this really, really beautiful gold shimmery number. And this is actually Versace. So it is a mini dress. And if you go to my Instagram, right? So we got the Instagram right here. If you follow my handle, Roxanne Carne _ stylist. If you check out my post, you'll see I actually had a photo shoot in this a couple of weeks ago with a new fashion friend of mine here in Dallas. And you can see the dress in action. It is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And what I like about it is that these aren't, they're sequins, but they're not like your traditional sequins. They don't, traditional sequins have like a little, they have like a little like holes in the middle for the thread for it to be attached. This one is not. It's pretty much uninterrupted. Look at that. I mean, come on, this is definitely great for the holiday season, right? It is a mini dress, so, and I like wearing it with my legs exposed. I don't wear any tights or anything with this. It's your prerogative if you want to. So you definitely have to have a nice warm layer on top, but the dress is just unbelievable. So we've got a beautiful cowl neck right here, and then we have the details here, the hardware on the strap. So, the Medusa, Versace's main logo motif. And then also another motif of the brand is this pattern right here, which is also a trademark Versace. So beautiful, beautiful dress. It has like just such visual fluidity. That's what I really love about it the most. And it's a lot of fun to wear. It goes great with my skin tone as well because my undertone is yellow. So it's no surprise that gold actually, gold, gold is better for me than silver, but I can wear silver too because my hair is practically black. So it works well from a cool perspective, but I am a warm undertone, and this is just a fun and fantastic dress. So I thought I would share this with you. I've had this dress for I'm gonna say the beginning next spring will probably be 2 years. So I haven't had it like that long, but whenever I do wear it, I just feel absolutely fabulous and get a lot of. It's a great conversation starter, and I want you to have some fun pieces in your wardrobe like this. So let me know what you think about my what's in my closet dress for this week, and if you maybe have anything similar that you may consider rocking for the Christmas holiday. Okay. All right. So, our last segment today is questions and conversation. Okay. So, one question that I had from one of our viewers or one of our followers is, and this was from Ruthie, what are key pieces every woman should have in her wardrobe, regardless of her personal style or body shape? So it's really cool. One of the benefits in working with me is that for most of my clients, we go through a checklist that covers exactly this. But I want to share some specific pieces, and it's kind of like not in any particular order, but I just kind of like jotted down ones that immediately came to mind. So kick things off with a belt. Women need belts, okay? So many women are wearing belts that you just put in your, the high hip area of your pants, right? To hold your pants up or just for design. But we need to be wearing belts in our natural waist. Remember, I talked about that natural waist earlier. Let's define it, okay? Let's draw eyes to that smallest portion of our torso to create balance for proportion. Belts, belts, belts are a must. A shift dress or a sheath dress. And if you don't know the difference, Annie, if you can pull that link up from our blog, what's the difference, between the shift or sheath dress? We'll add that in the show notes as well. You can go into detail with the difference there on my blog, but I think that is a must-have for most women's wardrobe. Silk blouses, oh my God. There's nothing more luxurious and comfortable and beautiful than a great silk blouse. You cannot go wrong. You can do silk, you can do a silk blend, you can do some polyesters are getting really, really good. But if you get 100% natural silk blouse, it is like heaven and it regulates your temperature. You never really overheat in it. And it just always looks luxe all the time. I think that is a must. Cashmere sweaters, cashmere knits, cashmere anything. Also, luxe, 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 luxe. So soft, so warm, so comfortable. I definitely recommend that. Um, Killer blazers. You always want to have like great jackets on rotation that you can throw on top of a dress or your favorite jean or skirt. That's a must have. And speaking of jeans, I think you should have a good trouser jean. A trouser jean is like one that's a little bit more wide, kind of like how you think about how a classic pair of trouser pants would fit. That maybe have like that one crease down the middle, like a fit like that. I think that is really essential because that's something you can totally dress up or dress down, but it always like looks so good on the body. So a trouser jean is a definite must. A trench coat. A trench coat, particularly like a khaki colored one, because it goes with everything. You can wear it all year round. I've got a blog on that one too. A wool and cashmere coat. We're in the wintertime right now. It's really, really cool or very cold if you're like in the Northeast. So bundling up, but with quality. Remember, quality trumps everything. I would recommend definitely having that. A little black dress or a cocktail dress, like I showed you my what's in my closet. Having That's not a little black dress, but it's a fun cocktail dress that you can kind of whip out if you get that last minute invite and wear it in style. Also, in terms of shoes, we want to have some great pumps, some pointy toed flats because they add length. Loafers are really, really fun. They're flat, they're comfortable, and they're interesting to look at. And then for outerwear, I'm also meant to mention including a leather jacket. So having a leather jacket for as a jacket, overcoat, just having that really nice texture that you can then layer on, scarves. You can put over a great chunky cashmere sweater, your trouser, jeans. You can really put some really great ensembles together. But just having that leather texture in a fun color that you love can really be a statement piece. So those are key pieces that I really, really recommend that most women should own. So I hope that answers your question, Ruth. And yeah, this section is for you, our listeners, our viewers. So please, please, please drop your comments and questions in the comment section so that I can have something to talk about at the end of my show for you. But you can hit me up here on YouTube with the comments, but also on Instagram. Again, follow my tag, right? My handle, Roxanne Carne _stylist. You can always DM me questions there as well. All right. So in closing, this has been a fabulous week. Really had a good time with you all today talking about fashion and style and Chanel And, when fashion goes wrong, when we're ordering from places like Shein and Shirley and whatever the hell's is out there, and also give you some really good tips for your day-to-day wardrobe. So again, like, share, and subscribe. Have a fantastic week. Let me know what questions you have, and tune in next Monday at noon Central Time. I'll be right here. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic week. See you next time.